So despite liquidity really being something that's needed by both small and mid-cap companies in Africa, and the fact that, private credit as an asset class is appealing as a self-liquidating, yielding instrument by capital allocators, private credit is being underutilized as it pertains to kind of the private capital mix of asset classes, where private equity, venture capital, infrastructure, finance have really dominated the mix. However, I've been attending Super Return for a number of years now, and over the past at least 5 consecutive years, you're really seeing a rise of the applicability of private credit. And at this year's Super Return, we're seeing a number of very exciting GPs who are really leaning into providing senior lending and mezz-type finance to mid-cap companies. These are highly cash flow positive generating companies that need debt in order to scale. And in the African ecosystem, what's really interesting is that over 80% of companies are micro and small businesses. And these large to mid-cap companies are really forming the productive fabric of ecosystems and economies in local African markets, which create the enabling environment really for micro and small businesses to thrive. So very interesting and exciting opportunities there. On the small side, small cap or micro side, we're seeing fintech being very, very much so still applicable and still growing. We were early supporters as Calvert in Lendable, for example, that has been very kind of prevalent in demonstrating the power of tech in providing transparency benefits, portfolio quality monitoring benefits, and the ability really, as tech is utilized more and more in lending, to service a broader set and universe of borrowers on the continent. So all very exciting opportunities. Typical green flags include, having local presence and really in-depth knowledge of the local markets, but not only markets, the regulatory environment and the nuances they present in these disparate African markets. Africa is not homogeneous by any means. You can find sort of differences within countries. And so the ability for managers to really demonstrate that knowledge and translate that knowledge to LPs or potential LPs is very, very important. Other components are really systemized, standardized origination and underwriting processes that are repeatable and replicable. And that supports kind of origination, but also monitoring and recovery processes, right? And where possible, of course, seeing a demonstrable track record throughout cycles, down cycles and up cycles, on the ability to service the loan portfolio, but also to demonstrate the ability to recover on non-performing loans. De-risking is a controversial topic, I think, and the word de-risking implies one party taking on the risk of another. I think it's more about blending different risk appetites and tolerances and the ability to bring those different parties together to service this market opportunity. DFIs are incredibly important in being able to show momentum and to galvanize support for private credit as an asset class. I had a great panel with Joseph Mate, who's the investment director of private credit funds at BII. And BII has really been leading in kind of trying to mature out the private credit space. Some of the things I've seen DFIs, or tools I've seen DFIs use in the de-risking space include kind of first loss tranches and blended structures, guarantee provisions on a portfolio basis, which have actually been very successful in a number of these blended structures to crowd in capital. The issue is, and I hope to see less of this going forward, but we'll see what happens, DFIs might be encroaching on the sort of commercial tranche, and you see competition between DFIs now where one DFI might be in a position of catalyzing another DFI, and that creates some obvious tension. So lots more to see in I think the coming year.